I am not here to fight you. Sarah Valentine says, and still she slaps a check onto the small marble table like it is a verdict. Layla Benson does not touch it. The cafe is quiet, the kind of Manhattan place that charges too much for foam and calls it art. Outside the window, February wind pushes people along like they are late for their own lives. Sarah sits tall, pearls, wool coat, the sort of calm that has always made men mistake her for mercy. Her eyes stay on Layla as if Layla is a problem she has already solved. $5 million. Sarah says. Leave Dylan Thorne, disappear, never contact him again. Layla looks at the check. The ink is sharp, confident. $5 million to erase her like a typo. She breathes in, slow, and hears her own heartbeat like a drum line. She thinks of Dylan's mouth against her ear, the promises he made in a penthouse full of glass and city light. He said he loved her. He said he was lonely. He said the world never understood him. He also said, if you give me a child, I will make you my wife. Layla lets out a soft laugh that surprises even her. Sarah's brows tighten. Do not insult me. I am not insulting you. Layla opens her purse, calm as if she is looking for lip balm. She pulls out a small white test strip in a plastic sleeve, and she slides it across the table. 2 lines. Clear as an alarm. Sarah freezes. Her fingers stop in the air above the check. Layla tilts her head. You are late, Sarah, I am pregnant. The words do not tremble. Layla refuses to let them tremble. A flush rises up Sarah's throat, but it is not rage. It is something colder, something like a door slamming shut inside her. Layla watches her carefully. If you love him that much, then congratulations. You can help me raise the baby. Sarah does not speak. 1 second. 2. 3. Her eyes lower to the test strip again as if it might vanish if she stares hard enough. Then Sarah reaches across the table and hooks her arm through Layla's, tight. The contact is firm, not gentle. A grip, not a hug. Layla stiffens. What are you doing? Sarah leans in, voice low, like a secret past at a funeral. I am not here to steal a man, I am here to escape a trap. Layla blinks. Sarah's lipstick is perfect. Her smile is not. Dylan has been lying to me for 6 years. Sarah says. I thought I was the one who knew him. I thought I was the only one he kept close. I was wrong. Layla hears the words and her stomach twists. Not because she doubts Sarah. Because part of her had hoped it was a misunderstanding. A fear. A rumor. Anything but this. Sarah continues, eyes sharp now, burning with focus. He told the world he was single and waiting for me. He told me he was too busy for marriage, too careful, too serious. He used my name to make people trust him. He used my patience to buy time. Layla's mouth tastes like metal. And you come back and pay me to leave. Sarah exhales. That was the plan, the stupid plan. I did not know about you. I did not know he had done this. Layla pulls her arm back, not hostile, just cautious. Why should I believe you? Sarah taps the check with one nail. Because I could have ruined you in 10 different ways before this meeting. I did not. Because I am sitting here talking to you like a person, not an obstacle. Layla studies her. The old Sarah, the magazine cover Sarah, the heir with a halo, would have said something cruel. She would have smiled and made it sound polite. This Sarah looks tired, like she has been awake for years. Layla says. If you are not here to fight me, what do you want? Sarah's gaze locks in. An ally. Layla's breath catches. Sarah says. We do not compete. We do not claw at each other for scraps. We end him. We take back what he stole. We make him pay with the only thing he values. Layla thinks of Dylan's confidence, his security teams, his lawyers, his private jets, his polished interviews. She thinks of the way he smiled when he believed he owned the room. What do you have? Layla asks. That can hurt him. Sarah's voice is steady now. I have receipts. I have contracts. I have emails. I have his signatures on documents that should never exist. I have proof he has been moving my money. I have proof he has been lying to investors. I have proof he has been touching women at work in ways they never consented to. Layla's hands curl into fists under the table. I have recordings. His voice. His promises. The way he pressured me. The way he planned my future like it was a cage he built for me. Sarah nods once, like a soldier. Then we are already holding the knife together. Layla swallows. The baby inside her is not a weapon, but Dylan will try to make it one. He will try to use it to chain her. Layla looks at the check again, then pushes it back to Sarah. Keep your money. Layla says. I am not for sale. Sarah's eyes flash with something like relief. Good. Layla adds. But if we are doing this, we do it clean, no cheap games. No public screaming. No turning it into a circus where we are the punchline. Sarah's jaw tightens. Agreed. We do not give him the pleasure of watching us tear each other apart. Layla leans forward. Tell me everything, from the beginning. Sarah's gaze drifts past Layla, to the window, to the city that never stops moving. 6 years ago. Sarah says. Dylan Thorne said he loved me. He said I was his future. And I believed him, because I wanted to believe him. Layla listens, and somewhere deep inside, a different kind of anger ignites. Not jealousy. Not rivalry. A clean, bright, ruthless fury. Dylan chose the wrong women to betray. The private club Sarah chooses is not the kind with loud music and sticky floors. It is discreet, velvet, glass, security that scans faces without looking like it. It is where people confess sins while pretending they are just drinking. They sit in a back room. No phones allowed. Sarah has a small device on the table anyway, a recorder the size of a coin. Layla notices. Paranoid. Prepared. Sarah says. They lay out their stories like cards. Separately, each story is ugly. Together, they become a map. Sarah speaks first. Dylan courted her with patience. He sent flowers to charity galas. He sat with her grandparents. He praised her mind, her discipline, her loyalty. He never asked for sex like it was owed. He made waiting feel like romance. He said marriage should be perfect. Sarah says. He said he was building the right foundation. Layla almost laughs, but it comes out sharp. He told me marriage should be fast, because love is brave. Sarah's eyes narrow. Of course he did. Sarah shows Layla a folder. Inside are bank statements, wires, trust documents, transfers. Dylan had access to a portion of Sarah's family funds through a joint investment structure he proposed a temporary arrangement. Until they married. He said it would be easier for our future. Sarah says. He said it was just paperwork. Layla flips through and feels sick. He moved money out. Not just money. Sarah says. Influence. Contacts. He used my name to open doors. He got meetings he did not deserve. He got loans he could not qualify for. Layla pulls up her own evidence, printed screenshots, audio transcriptions, a copy of a lease Dylan signed under a fake company name. He called her his private fiancée. In messages, a phrase that now sounds like an insult. He made me feel chosen. Layla says. Like I was the one he trusted, the one he could be real with. He told me you were a story from the past. Sarah's lips twist. He told me you did not exist. Layla taps a page where Dylan says. Once the baby is here, the world will have no choice but to accept us. Sarah reads it and her face goes pale for a second. Not pity. Calculation. He planned this. Sarah says. Yes. Layla says. He planned me. They sit in silence and the room feels smaller. Finally Sarah says. Do you know what hurts the most? I was ready to give up my life for him. I was ready to marry him, merge everything, become the elegant wife he could show off. He wanted my image, not me. Layla nods slowly. He wanted my body, not me. Sarah's fingers tighten around her glass. He wanted 2 different cages, one for each of us. Layla says. So we break the cages, and we break him. Sarah opens another folder. This one has a timeline. Dates. Corporate announcements. Photos. Press releases. Here is how he used me. Sarah says. Every time the company needed a boost, he leaked a rumor that we were getting engaged. Every time he needed patience from investors, he talked about stability, about family values, about devotion. Layla remembers headlines, the glossy couples shot rumors, the way social media declared Dylan a rare breed, a powerful man who was loyal. Sarah looks at her, voice flat. While he was with you. Layla's throat tightens. I did not even know he did public romance. Sarah says. You were his secret, I was his billboard. Layla breathes out. He thinks secrets are safer. They are. Sarah says. Until you drag them into the light. Layla places a hand on her stomach. She is still early, still not showing, but it feels like a promise now. Not to Dylan. To herself. Sarah slides a pen across the table. We need a plan that ends with him having no money, no allies, no narrative. Layla takes the pen. We need him to think he is winning until he is not. Sarah nods. I have already been collecting proof for months. I just did not know where to strike. I thought the best revenge was to walk away and let him rot in his own lies. Layla looks up. But you did not walk away. Sarah's eyes sharpen again. Because I met you. Because I realized he did not just hurt me. He built a system that feeds on women and calls it love. Layla says. I will not let him do it again. Not to me. Not to anyone. Sarah taps the timeline. Then we start with the simplest truth. He is greedy. Layla smiles, thin. So we offer him what he wants. Sarah says. We give him a show. Layla says. We let him believe we are fighting. Sarah says. We let him enjoy it. Layla's voice turns cold. And while he watches, we take everything. They sign nothing. They promise nothing with paper. They do not need it. They shake hands like partners in war. Outside the club, the city lights glitter like knives. Dylan Thorne calls Layla that night. He does not ask if she is safe. He does not ask if she is scared. He asks one thing, the only thing that matters to him. Did she come to you? He says. Layla leans against her apartment counter, phone on speaker, Sarah listening quietly beside her. Layla keeps her voice soft. Yes. Layla says. She came. Dylan breathes out, as if relieved. And what did she offer you? Layla meets Sarah's eyes. Sarah gives a small nod. A lot. Layla says. Dylan chuckles. Take it. 5 million is nothing. It is the cost of peace. You can live anywhere. You can start over. I will even make sure you are comfortable. Layla lets her silence stretch. Dylan hates silence. Silence means someone else is thinking. I am pregnant. Layla says. The line goes still. Then Dylan says, low. Do not joke about that. I am not joking. Layla says. 2 lines. Doctor confirmed. She hears Dylan inhale, quick. Then his voice shifts, warmer, urgent, almost tender. Layla. He says. Baby, that is incredible. That is our future. Sarah rolls her eyes so hard Layla almost laughs. Dylan continues. Come to the penthouse. We will talk. We will figure out what to do. Do not let Sarah scare you. She is dramatic. She is used to getting her way. Layla murmurs. She offered me money to leave you. Dylan's voice hardens. Of course she did. She thinks she owns me. She thinks she owns my life. She does not. Layla glances at Sarah. Sarah's face is calm, but the anger in her eyes is bright. Layla says. She said you lied to her. Dylan laughs again, too fast. She is rewriting history. Sarah is spoiled. She cannot handle rejection. Layla says. So you rejected her? I did not. Dylan says. I delayed. She wanted a ring, a headline, a wedding. I wanted to build the company. She could not wait. Layla keeps her tone careful. And me, what am I? Dylan softens. You are real. You are not a story for the press. You are the woman I chose when no one was watching. Layla almost chokes on the word chose. She swallows it down. Sarah writes on a notepad and slides it to Layla. It says, make him offer more. Layla says. If you chose me, then choose me in public. Dylan pauses. Now is not the time. Layla pushes. When is the time? Dylan's voice turns gentle again, like velvet over steel. After the next quarter. After the merger. After the board meeting. After I finish cleaning up the noise. Layla lets her eyes go distant as if she is thinking about a future with him. I need security. I need something real. You will have it. Dylan says. What? Layla asks. Do you mean by have it? Dylan hesitates. Layla imagines him pacing in his penthouse, looking at the skyline like it is a mirror. I can transfer you a property. He says. A condo in your name. I can put you on a trust. Sarah's pen scratches fast. She mouths, more. Layla says. I want shares. Dylan laughs, surprised. You are ambitious. I am a mother now. Layla says, and the words taste like fire. I need to protect my child. Dylan grows serious. I can grant you a small percentage. Nothing that interferes with operations. Enough to keep you comfortable. Layla says. In writing. Dylan exhales. Fine. I will have legal draft it. Come tonight. Layla says. I will. She ends the call. Sarah sits back. He thinks he owns you. Layla nods. He thinks the baby makes me desperate. Sarah's gaze sharpens. Then we use his assumptions against him. The next day, Sarah plays her role. She appears in public at Dylan's charity event, wearing a red dress that the press cannot ignore. Cameras flash. Headlines ignite. Dylan smiles beside her, the perfect gentleman, and he does not see the trap forming. Layla arrives late, as planned, wearing a simple black coat, hair down, expression uneasy. She walks in as if she is trespassing in a world too expensive for her. Dylan sees her and his smile tightens. He steps away from Sarah as if he is being pulled by gravity. Sarah watches and she makes it easy for him. She lifts her chin, lets jealousy paint her face. You invited her. Sarah says, loud enough for nearby ears. Dylan puts a calming hand on Sarah's wrist. This is not the place. Layla's throat tightens. She forces it. She forces the act. I can leave. Layla says, voice thin. Sarah snaps. You should. Cameras tilt. Phones rise. The room drinks it in. Dylan turns to Layla, gentle in public. Stay, we can talk after. Sarah scoffs. After what? After you embarrass me again. Layla lowers her gaze like she is ashamed. Inside, she counts the angles. The microphones. The faces. They are feeding Dylan exactly what he wants. 2 women orbiting him. 2 women begging for his center. Later, in the private hallway near the elevators, Dylan pulls Layla close and kisses her like a claim. You did good. He murmurs. Layla keeps her face still. I felt sick. Dylan smiles. You are pregnant. It is normal. He does not ask if she is okay. He asks if she performed. Layla nods. What about the shares? Dylan says. Legal is drafting. I will make it happen. Layla looks past him. Sarah stands at the end of the hall, watching, face hard. Sarah meets Layla's eyes and gives the smallest nod. The act is working. Dylan is already loosening his grip on his own secrets, because he believes they are safe. Because he believes women are predictable. That night, Sarah sends Layla a message from a burner phone. Stage 1 complete. He is proud. Stage 2 begins tomorrow. Stage 2 is not a single punch. It is a slow strangling. Sarah uses her family office. She does not announce it. She does not threaten. She simply withdraws. Funds that propped up Dylan's overseas accounts vanish overnight. Credit lines shrink. Quiet calls go out to bankers who owe Sarah favors. Layla moves through Dylan's company with a calm smile. She sits in meetings, takes notes, asks questions that sound naive, and copies everything she needs. Dylan grows cockier by the day. He starts talking more. He starts bragging. You know. He tells Layla over dinner. Sarah will come around. She always does. She loves the idea of me. Layla stirs her pasta slowly. And me. Dylan squeezes her hand. You are different. You are loyal. Layla forces a small smile. Then prove it. Dylan leans in. After the board votes on the acquisition next week, I will announce something. I will give the press what they want. Layla plays innocent. What do they want? Dylan grins. A fairy tale, the thorn heir with the perfect woman, Sarah, and a secret baby with you that no one needs to know about until it serves us. The words hit Layla like a slap, but she keeps her face steady. You want Sarah as your wife? Layla says. Dylan shrugs. Business. It will stabilize everything. It will calm the market. And you will still be taken care of. Layla hears Sarah's voice in her head. Billboard wife. Secret woman. Layla lets her eyes glisten as if she is hurt. So I am the secret. Dylan strokes her hair like he is soothing a pet. You are the mother of my child. That matters. Layla swallows her rage and nods. Across town, Sarah meets with 2 women Dylan once fired. She listens. She offers legal support. She offers a safe path to speak when the time is right. They are not pawns. They are witnesses. Sarah also meets with a journalist, a woman who built her career by exposing men like Dylan. Sarah does not give her the full story yet. She gives her a scent, a breadcrumb trail, enough to prepare. Meanwhile, Layla secures the final files. She finds the dummy company Dylan used to move funds. She finds contracts with inflated invoices. She finds emails where he pressures an assistant to be nicer to him in exchange for a promotion. Layla prints everything. She copies everything. She stores everything in 3 places. When she is done, she sits in her car and shakes, not with fear, but with the weight of what she has seen. Sarah calls. You okay? Sarah asks. Layla exhales. He is worse than I thought. Sarah's voice is steady. Then we do not hesitate. The next morning, the market opens and the first blow lands. A financial analyst report hits the feeds, anonymous but precise, questioning Thorn Group cash flow and offshore exposure. Investors panic. The stock drops fast. Dylan calls Sarah, furious. Sarah answers, calm. Dylan. She says. You sound stressed. This is your doing. He snaps. Sarah laughs softly. I do not know what you mean. Dylan says. I trusted you. Sarah's voice turns cool. You did not trust me, you used me. Dylan growls. If you do this, you will regret it. Sarah says. I regretted loving you. I am done collecting regrets. She ends the call. Dylan storms into his office. He calls bankers. He calls lawyers. He calls people who used to answer on one ring. They do not answer. He turns to Layla that night, eyes wild. Did you tell anyone? Did you leak anything? Layla shakes her head, tears ready on command. No, I swear, I have been protecting you. He believes her. Of course he does. He thinks her world is small. He thinks she cannot move pieces like him. The next blow lands the day after. Sarah publicly announces she is ending all personal and business ties with Dylan Thorne, and she does it with a single sentence that sounds polite and still cuts deep. I have learned that trust is not a promise. She says. It is a practice. I will not practice it with him. The internet explodes. Dylan responds with a statement about privacy and respect. It reads like a lie because it is. Layla watches the chaos and feels her pulse steady. The plan is working. The story is leaving his control. Then Dylan makes a mistake. He tries to threaten Layla. He shows up at her apartment without warning, security at the door, eyes cold. You are mine. He says, voice low. You do not leave. You do not speak. You do not embarrass me. Layla stands in her living room and lets the fear show just enough. I would never. Dylan steps closer. If I fall, you fall. If you want safety, you stay loyal. Layla nods again, small, obedient. But her phone is recording in her pocket. And in a different apartment, Sarah listens to the audio minutes later, and her face goes still. He just gave us the rope. Sarah says. Layla whispers. Then we hang him with it. Dylan announces the wedding like a man announcing the weather. He does not ask Sarah. He declares it. Press releases flood the city. The date is 3 weeks away. The venue is a historic mansion outside the city, all stone and chandeliers and curated tradition. The message is clear. Dylan is trying to lock Sarah in before the market can fully collapse. Sarah smiles in public and says nothing. In private, she sharpens every blade. Layla attends fittings. She pretends to be the quiet shadow in Sarah's orbit, the fragile woman carrying Dylan's child, the one who will accept crumbs because she is grateful. Dylan believes the story. He believes it so much he stops sleeping. He drinks more. He talks more. He vents to Layla about bankers, about board members, about enemies. He says names. He says numbers. He says crimes without realizing they are crimes. Layla records it all. Sarah finalizes the legal package. She does not just want a scandal. She wants consequences. She lines up civil suits. She coordinates with federal investigators who have been looking for an opening. She ensures every claim has documentation. She also calls her grandfather, the man who built the Valentine fortune with discipline and fury. I need you to trust me. Sarah says. Her grandfather pauses. You never ask for trust unless you have already earned it. Sarah says. Then listen. Dylan Thorne is a criminal. Her grandfather listens. The week of the wedding, Dylan calls Layla into his office. I will take care of you. He says. After the wedding, I will send you away for a while, somewhere quiet. You will have everything you need. Layla lowers her eyes. You are sending me away. Dylan's voice softens, false. For your safety. The press is vicious. Layla murmurs. And my baby. Dylan nods. My baby. I will protect what is mine. Layla looks up and for a second, she lets him see a flash of steel. What if I refuse? She asks. Dylan's smile vanishes. Do not test me. Layla drops her gaze again. I would not. He relaxes. He is so used to women shrinking that he forgets what it looks like when they stop. Wedding day arrives. The mansion glows with expensive light. Guests arrive in cars that cost more than Layla's college tuition. Cameras line the walkway, hungry. Inside, Sarah wears a white gown that looks like armor. Dylan stands at the altar, perfect in tailored black, jaw set like a king waiting for his crown. Layla sits in the front row, a hand resting over her stomach, face calm. The officiant begins. Do you, Sarah Valentine, take Dylan Thorne to be your husband? The officiant asks. Sarah turns and instead of facing Dylan, she faces the crowd. She lifts a small remote. The screens behind the altar flicker. Dylan's smile tightens. Sarah, what is this? Sarah's voice carries, clear. This is the truth. The first video plays. Dylan in a meeting, laughing about using Sarah's name to calm investors. His voice is crisp, confident. It is not fraud if they want to believe the story. He says on the screen. Sarah is the brand, I am the product. Gasps ripple through the room. Dylan steps forward. Turn it off. Sarah clicks again. Audio fills the hall. Dylan's voice, low, threatening, recorded in Layla's apartment. You are mine, you do not leave. You do not embarrass me. Layla stands. The room turns to her and the shock is immediate. They recognize her now, not as a guest, but as a hidden piece of the story. Layla walks up the aisle beside Sarah, steady. She reaches the front and faces the crowd. Her voice is cold, calm, sharp. He told me he was alone. He told me he loved me. He promised marriage if I gave him a child. Dylan's face drains. Layla, stop. Layla does not stop. Sarah holds Layla's arm like a banner. We are not here to fight each other. She looks at the crowd. We are here to end him. The next file appears. Bank statements. Wire transfers. Contracts. Names of shell companies. The evidence scrolls like a confession. Whispers turn into shouts. Phones rise. People record. Dylan lunges for the screen controls. Security moves, unsure who to obey. Then the doors open. Federal agents step in, badges visible, faces blank. The room snaps into silence. One agent walks forward. Dylan Thorne, you are under arrest. Dylan stares, mouth open, like he cannot believe the story is no longer his. He looks at Sarah, pleading. You cannot do this to me. Sarah tilts her head. You did it to yourself. Dylan turns to Layla. The baby, you would not. Layla rests a hand on her stomach and meets his eyes. My child will never learn to beg for scraps from a liar. The agents cuff Dylan. Cameras flash like lightning. As Dylan is led away, Sarah and Layla stand side by side at the altar, two women in the center of a room that finally sees what he tried to hide. Sarah whispers, low enough only Layla can hear. Breathe. Layla whispers back. I am breathing, for the first time in months. The trial is not as fast as a headline, but it is just as brutal. Dylan's lawyers try to spin. They say Sarah is bitter. They say Layla is greedy. They say women are emotional. The judge listens, then looks at the documents, the recordings, the witnesses Dylan never bothered to respect. The evidence does not care about spin. One by one, the lies collapse. The assistant Dylan cornered testifies. Her hands shake, but her voice stays firm. The women Dylan fired testify. The investors testify. The accountants testify. Sarah sits behind the prosecution, calm, dressed in dark suits now, no pearls, no softness. Layla attends when she can. Pregnancy nausea hits hard some days, but she refuses to let Dylan take even that from her. She will not disappear to make his fall quieter. Outside the courthouse, reporters shout questions. Sarah, did you know about Layla? One asks. Sarah answers without looking away. I know her now. That is what matters. Layla, are you going to raise the child with Dylan? Another asks. Layla's smile is razor thin. My child will be raised with love. Dylan cannot offer that. Weeks turn into months. Dylan's bank accounts freeze. His assets get seized. His board votes him out. Partners vanish. He tries to contact Sarah. She blocks him. He tries to contact Layla. She changes numbers. He tries to contact his own friends. They stop answering. In the end, he has only his own voice, echoing in rooms he used to own. The sentence lands on a bright morning. 12 years. The judge speaks with the calm of a man who has seen too many predators dressed as gentlemen. Dylan's face is empty. Not broken. Just stunned, like he cannot understand a world where he is not the main character. Sarah watches him get led away again. She feels no joy, no sadness, only a clean silence. Layla watches too, one hand on her belly, the other gripping Sarah's arm. When it is done, they walk out together into the sunlight. Outside, a reporter shouts. Why did you two do this? Why not fight each other? Sarah pauses. She looks into the camera. Because women are not the enemy. She says. The enemy is the man who benefits from making us believe we are. Layla steps closer, her voice steady. He wanted us isolated. He wanted us ashamed. He wanted us quiet. We chose loud truth instead. The clip goes viral. In the months that follow, Thorne Group is dismantled and sold. Pieces go to competitors. Some projects get cancelled. Some get saved. Sarah forms an investment firm that focuses on ethical governance and protecting employees. She does not call it revenge. She calls it rebuilding. Layla receives a settlement, not as a prize, but as restitution. She uses part of it to create a trust for her child. She uses part of it to fund legal aid for women trapped in workplace harassment cases. They meet often. Sometimes at Sarah's office, sometimes at Layla's small, warm apartment that now feels like a home, not a waiting room. One evening, near the end of Layla's pregnancy, Sarah brings takeout and 2 spoons. Layla laughs. You brought dessert. Sarah lifts a bag. It is ice cream, the kind you said you crave. I am not losing my reputation as your richest friend who still listens. Layla shakes her head. You were never the enemy, you were just another woman trying to survive his story. Sarah sits on the couch and lets out a long breath. I used to think I was above it. I used to think I was too smart to get played. Layla hands her a spoon. Smart women get played all the time. Predators study us. They do not hunt the weak, they hunt the worthy. Sarah looks at her. You are going to be a mother. Layla smiles, small. I am going to be free. Sarah glances at Layla's stomach, then back to her face. Will you ever tell the child who Dylan is? Layla pauses. The question is heavy, but it is not scary. I will tell the truth. Layla says. Age appropriate, honest, no poison. My child will know what happened without carrying my rage. Sarah nods slowly. That is strength. Layla lifts her spoon like a toast. To strength. Sarah lifts hers too. To alliance. They clink spoons and laugh. Months later, Layla gives birth to a healthy baby girl. She names her Ava. Sarah is there at the hospital, not as a savior, not as a rich patron, just as a friend holding Layla's hand through the pain. When Ava cries for the first time, Layla cries too, relief and love spilling out like a flood. Sarah whispers. She is perfect. Layla whispers back. She is ours, not his story. Outside the hospital, cameras wait, but Sarah and Layla take a back exit, quiet, private, safe. The world keeps turning, hungry for the next scandal, the next fall, the next spectacle. But in a small apartment filled with soft light and baby blankets, two women sit together, sharing silence that feels like victory. Layla looks at Sarah and smiles. Promise me something. Sarah raises a brow. What? Layla says. If a man ever tries to turn women against each other again, we do not bite. We do not bleed. We link arms. Sarah's smile is sharp and warm at the same time. Deal. Layla looks down at Ava, then back up, voice firm. Women do not exist to compete. We exist to live. Sarah nods and her voice is the final line, a declaration that does not need a stage. And if someone tries to make us smaller, Sarah says, we make them famous for the wrong reasons.
Thanks for watching. Follow for more romance stories.